she saw 3 chairs and wanted badly to rest her feet. But the first chair she tried was much too small. So she tried the second chair, and it was much too big. But when she tried the third chair, she found that it was just right.
Out here, you've got your crew and your ship. The only thing that matters is getting the job done. This is your workshop, your playground, your command center. This is your multi-operator laser extractor. Argo Astronautics, building your future.
Alright, today is Argo and Gray Cat, which is kind of interesting because they released the Argo Raft today, which is the Argo hauler ship that was kind of unexpected.
Contrary to popular belief, Argo Astronautics' name doesn't come from the ancient watercraft of Earth mythology, but rather is derived from the initials of the company's founder, Alana Redmond, and is attributed to her mother.
Another wonderful tidbit from the talking board. Okay. Of course, we got Argo Cargos, the most popular ship in the universe, apparently. They're not really useful for much in game right now because they don't have a jump drive, they don't have much in the way of cargo. It does have some seats in that one. That's the cargo variant. But here we have the Mole, which is the multi-seat mining ship. So you have one seat in the cockpit, or in the cockpit up here that runs, no, it's down here that runs this laser, and there's another laser over here, there's the cockpit there. So you get 3 laser beams to really cut up those big asteroids. It's a pretty good mining ship, but you gotta have a group to run it. And this is the new Argo Raft. It's causing a stir with everybody. The raft features 96 SCU cargo hold and is capable of carrying up to 3 standard-sized 32 SCU cargo containers, perfect for entry-level haulers and old pros alike. The raft is an ideal situation for reliable local freight transport. So yeah, I actually flew one to the expo because I was out of the system, so it's an interesting ship. It flies really well. It's got VTOL engines. It's got the 3 external containers. It also has up top here's your cockpit. Has a fairly decent setup for making you comfortable while you're in it. You know, 2 beds, a kitchen area. So it's going to be a contender for a decent hauler. The only problem is that's the only gun it has, is that turret on top. So it looks to be a decent little hauler. And down and around the corner we go. And here's the gray cats. These are the little mobile mining vehicles. The Gray Cat Rock DS, which is one guy driving, one guy running the laser gun. And the Gray Cat Rock, which is the driver runs the driving and the mining gun. And here's just the regular Gray Cat. It's just a little runabout. They should set them up at the expo here so you can just drive them around. Or rent them or something. Okay, so we got... the Kruger that was in like day 3. But now here's their stuff. Kruger Intergalactic. So these are basically snub ships. I believe they're what comes mounted in the Connie's rear docking port. They're a pretty decent little snub fighter, but they're really light. So, okay, I believe this is the Argo little tug ship. SRV, yep. So it's supposedly being used for moving freight and cargo, where you need to tow it around with a tractor beam or tow other ships to safety. So it's got a massive, well, probably multiple tractor beams on it, some decent sized motors for dragging large items. So basically like a tugboat would be in the ocean to move things around. So good on that. That ought to be an interesting ship when it comes out. And this is the Pioneer, I think of what it's called. Scoot over, buddy. Yep, the Pioneer. So it's the heavy construction. So if you're building something on a moon base or whatever, this is what you're going to bring in, so it can build a little modular setup for your colony, whatever. Outland, Church Game, Pioneer, self-contained mobile construction yard. It's capable of creating planetary module structures, ushering in a new wave of colonies. Okay, so basically it'll build the structure within the ship, drop it where you need it on your planetary body, whether that's a moon or an actual planet. And when it's done, it just picks up and flies away. It doesn't have to be a stationary construction yard. So that's going to be an interesting thing when they add that play schema to the game, because, well, as we currently set, we do not have it where we can, you know, maintain property outside of a space station. So it could be an interesting game loop once it gets to that point. Okay, where's the... oh, back here. A lot of empty space in this one. Interesting holograms. the corner. Okay, Mustangs, Nomad.
One of the newer ship manufacturers to debut at the IAE, Consolidated Outlands, has already made its mark on the expo when it introduced the first ever mobile construction yard in 2947. The Pioneer opened up exciting opportunities for planetary settlement by allowing settlers to create their own modular structures and forever changing the idea of what a spacecraft could do.
Yeah, so that was that Pioneer ship that we were just looking at. It's not ready yet, but they have it in design. Alright, and these are the Mustang variants. One of the starter ships, or one of the baseline starter ships. Outline, light fighter. So this is their military spec light fighter, so it's got the twin chin turrets, looks like 2 underwing guns, so it's going to be fairly well armed for a light fighter. This is the Mustang Alpha, light freight. So you can carry the containers in its little freight area, which I've never really seen work well, but it works, I guess, or will work at some point. And this is the Nomad. Huh. It's not giving me the rentable clicky. But the Nomad is interesting because its cargo is external. And this little drop down over here. When it's ready, that drops down. You can load your cargo or vehicle in there. Has an interesting little ramp set up. Reminds me of the Tavern ladders. Alright, and here is Mustang Beta. So this is the Pathfinder variant. It's got a very interesting paint scheme. But I think all the Mustangs do is they have the different colors paint schemes for their different variants, where some of the manufacturers just do the same paint scheme. And this is the racing variant, so ought to be, yeah, it's got light guns on it, so it can move really good, but it doesn't have a whole lot of firepower. So let's go look at the Nomad. If you haven't noticed, it has the, oh, there it goes, the floating plates rather than actual landing gear. So this thing sits here and hovers when it's in landing mode. Yeah, won't let me in now. But it is a very interesting ship. It's got a nice little cabin in there, sleeping area, cooking area. All the cargo is hauled externally, so it's actually a step up from the beginner ships, but it's not as big as like the Cutlass or the Freelancer or one of the bigger ships. So, but it's better set up than one of the lighter ships. So, yeah. Anyway, have a good day, and I will talk to you all later.